Hi everyone, it's Desiree. Day 2 here with Spellbinders, and today I'm going to be featuring the Glimmer and Embossing folder kit of the month for November. The Glimmer kit is called Glimmer Edge Stylized Floral, and I'll be using polished brass foil, and the embossing folder is called Fan Moth. It's a beautiful design that covers this whole panel. It's got a great detail to it. I'm going to be using a dark gray and a lighter gray heavyweight cardstock. What is really nice with the Glimmer kit is the glimmer, what you're glimmering is one piece. And it even includes the sentiment. So you're going to foil all of the floral images along with the sentiment in one shot. And then when you place the die that comes with your kit over that, it die cuts all of the pieces. And it goes right at the edge of the foil. And you'll see that a little bit later as we move further into the video. Getting everything ready. And you can see when I pull this off, we get a beautiful impression. Now, when I use my Glimmer system, I have the shim. I put a piece, there's a piece of heavyweight cardstock in there. It's 110 pounds. It's actually the Recollections. And then I put the plate. So there, right there are the 3 layers. Now, I change it every once in a while, the cardstock. I don't change it every time. That one's been in there for a couple months now. And that gives me the perfect impression. I also foil on all paper, whether it's Gina K, Simon Says, Concord and Ninth, Recollections, and I do get the same quality of foiling. Now, I don't know if that's because things have worn in. I don't know. If I should get any over foiling, I use a white eraser to remove it. I don't use a sand eraser. I'm not really a fan of the sand eraser. It doesn't work for me. Here are the pieces after you die cut them away from that plate. And you can see it's actually a little smaller than the image. So that foiling is going to go right up to the edge, even for the stems. You just want to make sure that you're placing this right over the image. I highly suggest to tape it. A lot of people have been asking me questions recently when it comes to the tape that I use when I'm foiling. The tape, I have tried many tapes, washi tapes, removable tapes, but what I have really come to really like using with my Glimmer system is the Spellbinders yellow tape. It doesn't leave a residue, it doesn't stick, it doesn't damage the paper. I don't know what they did with this, but that is the only tape that I use when I am glimmering. I don't use any other tape. Okay, back to the card real quick. So I took that panel and I took Simon Says ink Fog. It's a very light ink. It looks dark and dirty right now, but it dries back a lot. It's a very light ink. I use it also when I'm doing no line coloring with my colored pencils. And that's going to dry back. I've added some double-sided tape and I'm going to place this down on my standard A2 size card base, which is cut to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Now, because I did the glimmer on a dark and a light, that gives me 2 sentiments. That's okay. I have a little pot off to the side where I just keep putting my sentiments. I found that if I should have any downtime, I love to just glimmer some sentiments, get them ready, put them in that pot, and then they are just ready to go. I'm playing with the placement of each of the images. I do and will use all of the floral images. And I'm kind of mix matching them. So if I put a lighter one in the upper left-hand corner, I'm putting a darker one in the bottom right-hand corner, kind of creating this mirror image above and below the sentiment, but having that contrast of the 2 colors. So now I'm just going to start using my liquid glue And I'm just going to start setting them in place. The points of all of the stems are going to be hidden underneath the sentiment. So that's why I'm kind of making sure that all of these are getting positioned into place, at least the ones with the long stem. And you can see if I put a dark one up at the top, I'm doing the same thing with the lighter one down on the bottom. So it's creating that somewhat mirror image there. I like the look of pink and gray together. And what's great is you can use any metallic that you want with those two. You could either pull in the gold, which usually goes in with the pink. And then you could also pull in silver if you wanted to, because I used the gray. I'm going to get my sentiment in place because now everything is going to be propped up either over that or just underneath that. Some of my images I will use my double-sided foam squares, and these are the foam squares that are a little bit lower. I think they're like 3/16 or maybe 1/16 up. So they're just going to add just a little bit of dimension to our piece. And again, whatever I do on one image, I do the same exact thing for the same image in the other color, just to give that unity. The leaves, I'm just going to glue those directly down. And then just prop them in up underneath. And that is our completed image on our card. Got lots of glimmer and lots of shine. So I hope you enjoyed today's project. You can see that fog really did dry back. It's not as harsh as what it looked before. As always, the kits that I used will be listed down below, along with links to their shop, also their blog for even more inspiration for these products. And I also have a link to where all of the club kits sit. Not only do they sell them individually, but they also do sell them in sets if you're interested in more than one, and you can get a better deal. If you have any questions, please make sure you leave those down below, and I'll make sure I get back to you as soon as I can. If you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up, and make sure you hit that bell so that you know when the next video is live. Enjoy creating, enjoy your art, have fun, don't stress, don't get frustrated, but keep working at it, and you will find what your journey will take you to. But always remember what's most important. Always be creative, and I'll talk to you in the next one.